for the ultimate source of inspiration, knowledge, and entertainment, look no further. Network Kingdom is a unique platform that brings together experts from various industries. Through networking and collaboration, we create inspiring conversations that educate, entertain, and motivate our listeners. Whether you're a business professional, an entrepreneur, or simply someone looking to grow their knowledge base.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Conversations with Omo. And yeah, I'm going places. Last week we had a couple, and today I have this young, charming, intelligent young man. His name is Deven. Hi, Deven. Nice to have you.
Very nice to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm sure they're curious. I'm sure they're wondering, how come I have a young man? Who is he? And everyone is wanting to know what it is about. So tell us about yourself.
Well, what's special about me is I'm 15 years old and have published a couple books and have multiple successful businesses. I started learning about investing, well, pretty much since I was born, I've been learning about it. And then when I was 5, I decided, hey, it's time to start investing. By the time I was 7, I started buying real estate. And at age 11, I published my first book called If I Can Do It, So Can You.
Okay, so let's take it easy now because it's a lot. Don't laugh. I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm trying to catch my breath and take it all in. So we'll start from the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say, you said 15, right?
Yep, I'm 15.
Okay, so maybe we should add a smart 15-year-old. You need to add that, not just a 15-year-old, okay? So how did you start investing? Tell me about it. How?
So, like I said, I've been learning about investing since I was born. My parents have a weekly meeting every Wednesday, and they started taking me there in a baby carrier. So I, over time, got more interested in this sort of thing. And when I was 5 years old, I decided, hey, I think it's time to start investing. And so I went up to my dad and said, hey, I think it's time for me to start investing. What should I invest in? Yeah, I'd been going to these things and learning about it and never had any reason not to. So why not start?
So what was the first thing you invested in?
So my dad told me, invest in what you know. And really the only thing I knew at the time was the Legos. So I can imagine. So I had to go find a way to invest in Legos. A couple days later, I thought about it and realized, hey, Lego, after a certain amount of time, stops making sets. And after that, the price goes up, usually around double. So if I could buy it for the low price, sell it for the high price, buy low, sell high, that seems like a good idea. I just heard that phrase enough times that, yeah, that makes sense. I can do that. And I was looking through, next, what set should I buy? And I had seen this one set, the Lego Death Star, which was the biggest set I had ever built. That had been, they'd been selling that set for a long time, or at least to me, what was a long time. So, yeah, if anything, if they're going to retire anything, this one much older set seems pretty likely. So I started trying to work for money to get that. I worked for my parents doing their bookkeeping, some of their bookkeeping and stuff. They had taught me reconciliations. It's just like memory. And match this thing here to that thing there.
You make it sound so easy.
Well, if you break some of these things down, a lot of people try to make all of this super complicated, but if you just instead of looking at these things with all of the complex stuff, break it down to, all right, we want to make money. All right, how do we do that? We can get it in small chunks or big chunks. How do you get it in the big chunks? That you buy low, sell high, or do a handful of other different things, but it's just break it down to the bare basics if you can't understand the complex stuff. It's in my first book, If I Can Do It, So Can You. That's a lot of what I do. Like, I wrote it when I was 11, and so it had to be much simpler to me than some of the ways that I hear people teaching this.
My goodness. Okay, so that was your first area of investing, and then you grew the business, or what?
So that's it. I made I messed a whole bunch of different things up with that set, but I learned lessons. I like to make the money. I want to make it faster, so I got a partner. But instead of choosing someone who would really help me, I chose my brother because he was comfortable and easy, which slowed me down even more. So Lego retired the set. I was right about them retiring. They just did it sooner than I could get the money, so it cost me a little bit more there.
So you learned that lesson, didn't you?
Yep, I learned that lesson. And then I didn't hire professionals. I decided to use the cheaper option for selling it, not the better option. So Lego came out with a brand new version of the same set, and mine went back down to about what I had paid for it. So I learned that if you're going to partner with someone, make sure they provide the values you need. Then hire professionals, be creative, and take action.
Wow. So how many books have you written so far?
I've written 2 books so far. My first one, If I Can Do It, So Can You, actually talks about how I got started. Chapter 1's about that Lego set I was just talking about. And then it goes into all the steps I went through in buying my first house, all the lessons I learned, and then my handful of properties after that.
That's what I want to know. How did you buy your first house?
So a couple years after I bought that Lego set, I decided I wanted to start investing in real estate now. I had been going to these meetings for a couple more years, learning about it. Okay, time to start. And so I started by finding a house that was worth around 80,000, and they wanted to sell it for 50,000 because there was a loan about to be called due, and they just wanted it gone quickly. So they wanted to sell, make a small profit, and be done as soon as possible. I was going to make their life fast and easy, so they'd sell it to me for that much lower price, which meant I could get a loan on it, loan for most of the purchase price, because that would mean there was a lot of equity still there. So the lender, which was not a bank, but I'll get back to that in a second, they would have pretty much no risk in the deal because either they got their monthly payments and made money, or they got the house and made money that way. Okay. Either way, they won.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was buying my first house, so it worked great for me too. So yeah, I got that deal for financing on it. I can't get a bank loan. Banks won't lend to me. There's a law, at least in my state, I think it's a US thing too, that a contract with a minor, meaning somewhere under 18, is
I think
legal.
That should be pretty much all over the world, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's most of the world, but I'm not entirely sure. You're welcome to check with your local lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, accountant, or anything else that requires a degree or certification. But anyway, so Banks won't lend to me. Although, but for my first year, I got a small family office, like a group of family members put their money together and lend it out on real estate. So, the guy running that, who my dad knew, so that helped me a lot. They said, "Yeah, we can loan on this. That will make us money." And even if we can't, even if his contract isn't enforceable, we can sign a contract with his company because, for asset protection and a handful of other reasons, we want to have our real estate in an LLC or limited liability company. And it's a little bit deep for this discussion, but I believe that's chapter
But I'm
2.
sure would want to know, my guests would want to know, I want to know.
Well, an LLC basically means the stuff that happens in your company will not affect you. It limits your liability from that.
Awesome.
But it also means there's a separate entity. It's two separate things. So you can't just use money from yourself to pay for the company stuff, and the company can't pay for your stuff generally.
Yeah.
There are loopholes and different things everywhere. Look at your local laws.
So that purchase went on very well, and you got that property.
Yep.
Awesome. Congratulations. And that led to you getting some more.
Yep. The next one I bought, that first house I bought, like I said, it had a lot of equity. And we decided to pay it down pretty quickly. We got a 9-year loan on it, so it'll be paid off. I think next year I'll be around 16, which will help pay for my first vehicle.
Awesome.
So that's being paid off rather quickly. The problem with that is it doesn't have much cash flow at the moment. So the next thing I bought was a mobile home. That would give me a bit more cash flow and really help me there. Because I can buy it for really cheap and make a couple $100 each month.
Nice. Well thought out. Well, very well thought out. So let's go on to your second book. What's it called?
My second book, which came out last year, is called The Garage. It's about a group of kids turning what they love into a small business. Specifically,
that I found very interesting.
My first book, I published that, and that helped a handful of people. But I decided for my second book, I want to do something that can help more of my generation, the younger people. And a lot of people my age aren't going to want to read a book just telling you how to invest. Like that doesn't
a business book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but a fun book that just happens to teach some good business principles that they'd probably love to read, especially if it's really entertaining.
Certainly.
So that's what I did. I like my family frequently talks about, I found out what people wanted, I went out and got it, and I gave it to them at a profit.
Say that again. Find out what people wanted.
So the 3 steps to becoming successful, which my brother Ethan frequently talks about, is find out what people want, then go out and get it, then give it to people. Then give it to people at a profit. And the most important part of that is to do it in that order. A lot of people try to just sell others what they have, not what the other person wants.
Okay, so go out there, find out what people want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I know the last one is give it to them at a profit. What's the second one?
Find out what people want, go out and get it.
Go out and get it and give it to them at a profit. Ooh, I'm taking that down. Mhm. So that's awesome. So I haven't finished reading The Garage, right? But I have a vague idea. I've glossed through the pages. Now, like you rightfully pointed out, a lot of your mates don't want to sit down and really, really read a book. And you must agree with me also that when they have read the book, just like adults, really, sometimes they need that extra nudge or that extra accountability. Do you have anything that you like a program, a workshop, a mastermind, or something that kind of keeps your mates accountable or in check, or they're able to ask you questions?
In fact, I do. I run a young entrepreneur group called MIT, or Millionaires in Training. That
Wow.
group for 8 to 24-year-olds, and you can find out all the details on it at clearskytrainer.com/MIT.
Can I be 23?
Say that again.
Can I be 23 years old, please? So I can attend.
Well, as I tell most of the people that want to join that are over that age, I specifically like the stuff we talk about, the way I teach things, I make it for the younger people. Like I've grown this far without the ability to get bank loans, without the ability to drive. And I still can't drive myself. I don't have a driver's license. I'm not 16 yet, which is the age you need to be to get a driver's license here. So there's a lot of issues I had to overcome, and this I can help teach people not just the basic principles of investing, but also all the stuff on how they specifically can get started.
That's interesting. So it's clearskies.com/MIT, Millionaires in Training. I love that.
Let me say that one more time. clearskytrainer.com.
clearskytrainer.com. clearskytrainer.com/MIT. Awesome. And how often do you hold these groups?
So I have it through Discord. So the main thing is we have a meeting each week, Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not quite sure what that equates to over by you. We also have places where you can ask questions,
Okay.
and a handful of other things. We want to make
I'm sure if they sign on and they get on Discord and they start the conversations, they'll be able to follow.
Yeah, you can sign on, ask questions, start conversations, say, hey, I want to get started. This is what I want. What's the best thing for me to start with? What should I start reading, doing, learning about, etc.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. So what's your plan for the year 2023?
2023, some of the big things I'm working on are promoting my 2 books, The Garage and If I Can Do It, So Can You. Sometime this fall, I might be releasing a second book in the same series as The Garage. And current working title is The Fall and Rise of Atlas Gold.
Awesome.
And then also possibly promoting the family's books, The Treehouse and Family Success Triangle.
I've seen that.
And as well as growing MIT, getting more people in there, more interaction, more learning, and overall just helping the world.
That's so good. That is so good. It's been such a huge honor to have you. You're not a millionaire in training, or you're already a millionaire. But to have you mentor your mates and also be good example to them. I'm particularly proud of you. I'm so glad that I met you and that I could host you on my podcast. I can't wait to meet you one of these days.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you so much, Eric. And to you guys, don't forget to check out the website. And also, you can give us the website again, please.
ClearSkyTrainer.com is my family's website. My parents have a free newsletter you can sign up for on there. And ClearSkyTrainer.com/MIT for
Awesome.
young investors that want to get started and learn more.
Awesome. Trust me, I wish I was less than 24. I certainly would have signed up. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Thank you for joining us. And if you want to see his handsome face, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm out.
You've been listening to Network Kingdom with Omu Obulor. Remember, if you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there before.